Hey y'all, welcome back to EMC Evelyn's music class. So we're going to take a little break from our usual violin music classes slash music theory, and because this week is Activism Week and Black Lives Matters Week, we're going to be learning about influential Black artists through music today that you should know about. I'm going to talk about 4, and these people are one from each century. Each of them have impacted us so much today, and our music today wouldn't be the same without them. I'm not going to be talking about like hip-hop artists or rap singers because like these people are already very well known, and I feel like they're more into pop culture, and I want to delve more into the past so like we learn about the more important people who have influenced our music today. That's why I'm going to be talking about more of like different styles rather than the more recent ones. So if you think off the bat, who are some classical musicians you can think of? So you might be like, oh, Mozart, Beethoven, who else? Haydn. We're gonna head on to our first person. This person is Joseph Bologne, and this is a guy that Mozart took inspiration from. This is very cool. Like, Mozart, the great guy everyone knows of, and like he took inspiration from Joseph Bologne, and like he may have also like stolen a few ideas from him. That's a little sketchy, but that's what happened. So this guy was a really great classical music composer. This guy is also called the Black Mozart, and this guy is one of the first musicians that first classical musicians of African descent who is really well known. He wrote string quartets, concertos, and symphonies, and he also led one of the best orchestras in Central Europe. So President John Adams, he even said that like this man was one of the most successful men in Europe, and that's pretty cool. Like someone from America, after like this is like a couple years after he was like at his prime, he was like, oh, this man, this black man, this guy called Joseph Bologne, he's great, he's so successful. And that's why we have to know about this guy, because he is so great, and we don't really know much about him, and we know so much about Mozart today. So we're going to talk about how Mozart took inspiration from him now. You may have thought of Joseph as a rival. If you guys have heard of the Magic Flute, Joseph can be seen as the villain inside of the Magic Flute, with the villainous black character Monastos. Okay, the second artist we're going to talk about today is Scott Joplin. This is a different era of music. We're going to jump forward in time about 100 years. So this is in the 1800s. Scott Joplin is known as the king of ragtime, and so ragtime is like music that's more like hoppy. You think of like old Disney movies, very light, really very light-spirited, and like it makes you happy when you listen to it. So one of his most famous songs is The Entertainer, which you guys may have heard in Crossy Road. It goes like do 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 do. So it's like very bouncy, and it makes you feel happy and joyful. And he used like very complex bass patterns and syncopation. Syncopation is like what causes like the happy feeling. So it's like offbeat. So you usually singing, if you listen to singing, it's usually like 1, 2, 3, 4. Like twinkle, twinkle, little star. It's very spaced out. And sometimes you have like eighth notes like there once was a boy named Harry. So syncopation is more like you go off the beat, so you go do 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 do. So it's like it's a little hard to play, but when it comes together it sounds very cool. And a lot of his technique is still used today in composing, and you can see like how he has influenced us today, and such a great composer. We're going to jump another 100 years in the future, and this is the 1900s, and we're going to talk about Louis Armstrong. So there are a lot of Armstrongs and Louis out there in the world. Like there's that baseball player, and there's that guy who walked on the moon, and there's the guy who like ran in the Olympics. I guess like it's just a really powerful name. I don't know. But Louis Armstrong was one of the most well-known figures in jazz. He was an American trumpeter, vocalist, and composer. He was born and raised in New Orleans, and one of his most influential moments was when he changed the theme of music from like group players to soloists. So in the past there were like orchestras, ensembles, and they would play in small groups. But then with him, he began being like, oh, solos are so great. He introduced like jazz. Jazz is when like one person just like improvises and like they make a whole new tune out of like a bass series of notes. And he like spread this all across the United States. All the people in the United States started to like this music. And so this is how a lot of Black people began to get more influence inside of the United States in their music. And the music that he created was a great impact on the Harlem Renaissance, which brought life to African Americans, and they began to show like their more artistic side to the rest of the world, and they began to start being more recognized for them. The fourth artist I'm going to be talking about today is Daniel Bernard Roumain. So this guy is in the 1900s, and he is a contemporary composer and violinist and band leader. And his music mostly consists of like a blend of funk, rock, hip-hop, and classical music. And he's collaborated with like many people, including like Philip Glass and Lady Gaga. Like that's pretty crazy. Like there are still people composing today. Like if you think of like a composer, like maybe people think of like old men from Europe, but like these people are like young, they can be in their 20s. Like Mr. Roumain is still alive today. Like that's pretty cool. And he regularly performs his works around the world. And I have linked some of their music below so you guys can listen to them, because there's some copyright problems. So I don't know if I can include them inside of this video. But please do check them out. They're very cool people, and I admire them a lot. And I feel like they are really worth learning about. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time with some music theory or on Instagram, because we'll be doing a dance and contemporary with Kaylee's combination. So I'll see you there.
Hi, we are your IFA co-founders. I'm Ellie.
And I'm Miriam.
And thank you so much for watching our videos.
You guys can learn more about our cause down below at our website, www.inspirationfinearts.org.
And if you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
We couldn't be where we are without the support of you guys, so make sure to send in videos of the things that you've learned during classes and pictures of the art that you completed.
Everything you send in will be featured on all our social media platforms.
Thanks for supporting us, and until next time,
Go find your inspiration.